What a difference a game makes. Let me say, Tyler Hero broke his hand. Jean Morant might be out for a while with his hand. Giannis went out with a sore back. AD dislocated his shoulder, nerve damage, came back in the game and was impactful. What a difference a game makes. Let's talk about it.
What a difference a player makes to your playoff hopefuls. Because I'm telling you right now, the people that you mentioned, unfortunately, if they're not playing, the chances of their team going deep is questionable. It just is. It's really, really sad. But as we're talking about John Moran and the Grizzlies, I have a couple of takeaways from that game against the Lakers. My first one was that I don't think the Grizzlies played their style of play. I just don't think so. I was watching the game and I said to myself, are they a little slower than normal? Do they have round one, first one jitters? Because that's what it looked like. Now, I understand that there was some, John Moran was compromised. I get that. But even when John Moran is not in the game, they can still ball out. And I just didn't feel it. What about you?
Well, I didn't see that. And I think we're probably hungover from watching the Kings and the Warriors in terms of
Is that what it
speed.
was? Is that what it was? Oh, because yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one gave me all my life.
Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing, without Jean Morant, well, first
It's
of
okay.
all, the way he ran off the court with his injury,
Mhm.
I was like, oh, he's done. His hand is broken. He ain't coming back. But then he returned to the bench, but they never entered him back into the game. So I am so confused as to what is going on. But one thing I do know, lucky for them, lucky for the Grizzlies, they've already proven time and time again that they can win games without Jean Morant. But can they win the series?
Right, exactly, exactly. Well, I would hope so, because they would need to probably consider that even if John Morant was to come back with his hand injury, he will still be compromised as a player. Because if you notice, he did not bring the ball up before he fell. He was not controlling the ball when it was time for them to be controlling offense. And I thought that was kind of odd. Why is he deferring? Why are they deferring to other? Why is John Moran deferring? Well, because his hand was messed up. So I
Hmm.
think he was unable to really handle the ball as he normally handled, which I think impacted his confidence. It just seemed a little off for me. And now that he is going to be out, he should. I don't see him suiting up for game two. It wouldn't make sense, even if it is just some type of sprain or something. But he was already injured anyway going into the game. So yeah, without him playing, they need to now shift their mindset and go into their mode of how do we play when John Moran is not there. And I think if they do that, they can at least make the games more competitive and maybe be able to go the full seven that I think the series can go. So, yeah.
Yeah, so one of my takeaways was the Memphis Grizzlies really missed Steven Adams and Brandon Clark in game one. They just did not have that interior presence. I'm looking at Xavier Tillman. He
Mm,
got 20 minutes on the court, but two
mm,
points, three rebounds, three assists. I mean, good grief. That is a small percentage of what we would have gotten from Clark and Adams. And
yes.
it's just, I'm just so devastated that the Grizzlies have played such a great season, right? Holding number two spot all season. And then for this to happen, the first round of the playoffs, to be hit with injuries, to have that big gap in the center. But you know what? It's only game one, so I'm trying not to
Right.
um, you know, I'm just trying not to get too concerned about it.
Yeah, not overanalyze. Another takeaway I'm going to mention is that the Grizzlies had no answer for Rui Hashimura. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I blame that on poor scouting. You mean to tell me y'all didn't know that he could potentially do what he did? Potentially? Like, Rui was like, I'm here, kaboom.
Yeah.
Y'all ready for me? They weren't ready for him. And then somebody alluded to it in the post conference. I'm like, y'all, you have time now to adjust. There are players on the Lakers right now, not the Lakers before the trade, but the Lakers after the trade, that if they even get remotely hot, you got to be able to adjust for it. And I think it was like an adjustment from the Grizzlies side as well that hopefully they will make these adjustments in game two, which would make them a little bit more ready for whatever the Lakers may throw at them. Because I really think their game plan was stop LeBron and possibly do our best to stop AD. But then they didn't consider Rui. They didn't. And then
Mhm.
LeBron said, "Guess what? I'm gonna defer. So y'all ain't gonna even see me barely on this court. I'm
Yes.
just gonna do the bare minimum. But I'm gonna let Rui Hashimura and I'm gonna let Austin Reeves, get me this championship. I'm gonna let them get me this win." And that's exactly what he did.
Surprising because, I mean, I don't know, but I have not been impressed with LeBron since he won the scoring title. We might be seeing his decline right before our eyes, to be honest with you. Okay.
We just might be seeing it. And I think if he goes out with a win, a championship, although he didn't really have the most impact on it, can you imagine? Oh my gosh. But it's so funny because if you're listening to people talk about the game, they find a way to still mention LeBron when LeBron's impact on this game was pretty much zero. Although he
Yes.
had the points, he got the rebounds, all that, and actually if you watch him play in this first game, the way he impacts on defense is from the back. I was like, "Oh, he's changing that up a little bit." He waits.
Yes.
He waits and then he runs. He doesn't want to get in the front of it, he gets in the back of it. I was like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, okay, I got it." So I'm gonna need the Grizzlies to adjust to that. You already know LeBron James is gonna come from the back. He's not gonna defend you from the front. That ain't
No.
happening. That ain't his
No.
game. I was like, uh-huh, I got it. I got it. Grizzlies, did you get it? And I ain't even playing. Did you see it? If you want to even
You
remotely get ahead, you want to make sure you account for that in your next matchup. So funny.
Oh, it is funny. What's his name? Jaren Jackson Jr. showed out
He did.
just
He
like I
did.
expected, but he just didn't get enough help from his counterparts. Dylan Brooks was one of the ones doing a lot of talking about he wanted to
Ooh-wee.
be, he wanted to face the Lakers and LeBron James so he could knock them out the playoffs. Well, Dylan, uh, you may want to, you just may want to recall those statements right now.
No, or
You
you just
just
may want
might.
to show up. Or you just may want to show up, and you may want to say, okay, it's LeBron, Rui, Reeves, AD. Like it's more than just him. And I don't think he was ready for that. He looked again. I'll attribute it to game one jitters. That's what I'll attribute it to. But I can't see you not being as aggressive, and you not and all that lip service not showing up on the court in game two. I just can't see it. You can say the
I
lip
know.
service, actions speak louder than words, whether we want to realize it or not. So yeah, I expect more from the Grizzlies. I do believe they'll make adjustments, and if they don't, then shame on them.
Yes. Okay, so another big game on yesterday was the Los Angeles Clippers and the Phoenix Suns. Now, I called it. I said the Clippers would, well, it was only game one, but I have the Clippers coming out of this series just because I knew what I was going to see. KD and Kawhi canceled each other out. In fact, Kawhi actually outplayed KD.
In fact,
Uh-huh.
in fact, Kawhi looked like championship Kawhi.
Yeah, he
I was
did.
like, ooh, okay, that hit the way his body looks and the way his focus appeared a little bit different. I was like, ooh, this looked like, oh, okay, son, y'all
Mhm.
y'all ready for this Kawhi? Ooh, we'll
He
see.
looked good.
He
Let me
looked
tell you.
good,
And then,
yeah,
Russell
yeah.
Westbrook did what Russell Westbrook does. Brody was showing out why I have loved him from the beginning. He
You know
showed
what?
me, he showed everybody why. And the disrespect was so loud. I'm going to need the praise to be even louder.
I'm gonna need it to be. I need yes, absolutely. Oh, people had so many words for Russell Westbrook. However, what they were saying is not incorrect because he did not shoot well. But see, this is the thing. Just because you don't shoot well, if you find other ways to have a positive impact on the game, you can affect a win. And that's exactly what he did. What I saw from Russell Westbrook in this game was his experience showcased. Now, I may not be able to get these shots up, and my layup may not be looking right. But this defense I'm about to put on you, you ain't ready for that. And they were not ready. That last defensive possession against Devin Booker, I said, oh my gosh.
Yes.
You Oh, I can tell you the Suns weren't ready for that. Oh, I can
No.
promise you they weren't ready. Oh, I can promise you they weren't ready for that.
Mm-mm.
No. And so that's what I'm saying. And what I love most about it is that it gave me the feels, especially once he at the end when he walked over to the bench and the look on Ty Lue's face was like, you know that
Yeah. Yeah.
that like see, you my guy. you know, I said, see that's I think that's all Russell Westbrook needed was someone to believe in him, right? And then he even said in the press conference, although I was not shooting well, Ty Lue still believed, Ty and the staff still believed in me. Like you cannot tell me that you don't show up at your best when you know you got people in your corner. That's it. And that's
Mhm.
exactly what that proves. And he got hard. Nobody can deny that.
You cannot deny it. And I'm so happy he showed up and
Oh my
played
God.
the way that he did. I don't care about 3 for 19. That's mildly interesting. Now, when you're making defensive plays to win the game, now when you D'ing up, no. Yeah,
No,
hats off,
no.
hats off.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. You don't necessarily Russell Westbrook don't necessarily have to shoot. If I'm gonna be honest, not with Kawhi playing the way he played.
Right.
Now with Norman Powell coming off the
Yeah.
bench doing what he do, he don't have to do that. All I need for him to do is try to get what he can get. Right? If the shot is available to you and you can take it, take it. But their defense unmatched. That was amazing. And then Kawhi was on defense. I said, oh, he getting down and dirty on the ground with Book. Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
Clippers shocked me, but I'm still
Didn't.
holding. But
Oh, are you? Are you?
no, 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 no. Told you it's game 4. See me game 4. You
Oh
watch our previous
God.
videos, you'll see.
Hey,
Yeah.
nothing's gonna change from now till then on the Phoenix Suns
You
bench.
don't think so?
Nothing's gonna
Yeah.
change. It's nobody. They gutted
Oh
everything for
my
KD.
God.
Mm-mm. And
Did
the Clippers
KD?
are so deep.
Yeah. I do believe in what I've been seeing and what I've seen for these first games in these playoff series, that if your bench is remotely shallow, not solid, no depth, you're not going far in this. You're
Oh
not going
no.
far. You're not doing it. No, the bench, somebody on the bench needs to be the one to step up every time. And if you don't have that, i.e. Cavs, i.e. Suns, what you gonna do? You're not gonna see round 2. And if you do, it's gonna be because the other team fumbled.
I
I
know.
just couldn't believe
Okay.
it. What do you think about KD's performance?
Well, KD, I think he started off really slow. He got hot in the second quarter. I mean, but in the end, he did
Mm.
what KD does. He put up a nice stat line. I wasn't too impressed with his defensive game, but I think they relied on him a lot. And when he didn't get his engine going until the second quarter, I think it kind of dampened them a little bit. But he's been
Wow.
doing that. Now, granted, this is only his seventh, eighth game or so with the Phoenix
Mhm.
Suns as a whole
Yeah,
healthy.
yeah,
So maybe what we're seeing is just the beginning stages of chemistry on the
yeah.
court.
True. That's true. This is game 1. I do understand that. What are your thoughts on Chris Paul?
Just what I thought. Chris Paul. Well, Chris Paul is a dog, first of all, but he's an
Mhm.
old dog with old tricks. And I thought he looked pretty tired, actually.
Man, it's really bad. You know what? I was, however, impressed with Booker and his defense. I was impressed with it. It gave me a little something. I wasn't expecting that from his game, and I'm glad he brought it. I hope he continues to do it because they're gonna need it against this
Oh,
Clippers team. So who else gonna step up to help him now? Who gonna do it?
see? And that's gonna be their problem.
Wow. 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 I'm looking forward to game 2.
Mhm. Now there were a couple of other games on yesterday. Honorable mention to the my goodness, wait a minute. Can we just say the Miami Heat stormed into the Milwaukee Bucks arena and put a spanking on the Bucks? I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see the spanking coming. Now I thought that the Miami Heat would get a leg up because Giannis went out with his back, but not 130 to 117 spanking. I didn't know. Now, Bucks, y'all better than that.
Yes.
Way better than that, even without Giannis on the court. The Heat was able to put 130 on you? Nah.
Yeah, that was probably a one-off. This is probably the only game that the Heat are gonna win in the whole
I
series.
just don't, and it looked good for game 1. I still do not see the Heat being able to pull off a win in this series. I just don't see it. So we'll see how it goes. And
Mhm.
then the final game of the night,
Oh, was there a game at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time?
horrible. You know what? I feel so sorry for the West #1 seed and Denver Nuggets having to play the Wolves. 109 to 80.
Just wasn't even a game.
What is going on? You mean the Nuggets have to suit up for that? You
I
know what, Nuggets
know.
nigga? Do quick work.
Do
Do
quick
quick
work.
work. Come on, you should be done by the end of this week.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, think about it though. Mike Malone was able to sit Jokic. Apparently, Jokic only played 28 minutes.
It's ridiculous.
Uh-huh. That was a rest. That was like, it,
No, this right here was shoot around.
it's just,
It was one of them. It was a practice game. This is ridiculous. 80 points.
it's horrible. First of all, the Wolves are better than that, though.
I
They're
believe
just
in me too.
tired. They just came out of the playing tournament. I'm just saying, the Wolves are tired.
Nuggets, make this quick work. You should not be, this should not be 5 games. I'm sorry. If this is 5 games, I'm shame on Nuggets. I'm saying I'll take that back. If this goes 6 games, I'm gonna give the Wolves some type of credit. They worked hard to get where they are, so they should at least be able to squeeze out one game. But they should not go past 6. Don't do that.